Have you ever wondered how secure the Houses of Parliament actually are? It's one of the most recognisable buildings in the world, and one of the most important. Decisions that shape the future of the UK are made behind those doors every day. But that also makes it a target. In this series, we'll explore the real-world side of security, how iconic places are protected, the crimes that have tested those defences, and what it all tells us about risk in today's world. In this episode, we're diving into the security of the Houses of Parliament in the UK. From the Gunpowder Plot to modern terrorism, we'll look at the incidents that have shaped its security and what's been done today to keep it safe. Let's get into it. The Houses of Parliament, also known as the Palace of Westminster, have stood at the heart of British politics for centuries. But the building we recognise today hasn't always looked this way. The original medieval palace was actually a royal residence going all the way back to the 11th century. But in 1834, most of it was destroyed in a huge fire, an event that gave Parliament the chance to rebuild from scratch. The design that followed, created by Charles Barry and Augustus Pugin, gave us the Gothic landmark we see today, complete with Big Ben towering over the Thames. Since then, it's been the seat of British democracy, housing both the House of Commons and the House of Lords. It's where laws are debated, governments are challenged, and decisions with global impact are made. But because of its political significance and its visibility, it's always been a potential target. From plots and protests to actual attacks, security at Parliament has to evolve constantly to meet the threats of the day. And some of those threats have made headlines around the world. The Houses of Parliament haven't just seen debates and legislation, they've also been the target of some of the most infamous security breaches in British history. First up, the Gunpowder Plot of 1605. This was a serious attempt at mass political violence. A group of Catholic conspirators, including the now infamous Guy Fawkes, planned to blow up the House of Lords during the state opening of Parliament, killing the King and much of the political establishment in one go. Fortunately, the plot was foiled at the last minute, and Guy Fawkes was found guarding barrels of gunpowder hidden beneath Parliament, and we all know what happened to him. Even today, security teams still conduct a ceremonial search of the cellars before each state opening. Part tradition, part reminder of how real the threat once was. Fast forward to 2017, and we saw another chilling reminder of Parliament's vulnerability. On the 22nd of March, Khalid Masood launched a terror attack just outside the building. He drove a car into pedestrians on Westminster Bridge before crashing into the railings near Parliament and then fatally stabbing PC Keith Palmer, an unarmed police officer who was on duty. Armed officers quickly responded and shot Masood dead, but the attack shook the country and exposed gaps in perimeter security that have since been reinforced. There have been other breaches too. Protesters climbing, scaffolding, climate activists gluing themselves to entrances, even drones flying near the estate. And while many of these are more symbolic than violent, they still challenge security teams and highlight the constant balancing act between public access and protection. Each of these incidents has left its mark, shaping how Parliament is secure today and reminding us that high-profile sites are always under watch, even if the threat isn't always visible. So, what does it actually take to protect the Houses of Parliament in the modern day? The answer is layered security, multiple systems working together to stop everything from petty disruption to serious terror threats. Let's break it down. First, we have physical security. There's a visible police presence around Parliament at all times, including armed officers stationed at key entrances. Vehicle access is tightly controlled. Roads are closed off with steel bollards, reinforced gates, and barriers designed to stop a vehicle dead in its tracks. After the 2017 terror attack, the perimeter was reinforced even further, with more visible deterrence and faster access to armed response teams. Next, you've got surveillance. CCTV coverage is extensive, both inside and outside the estate. Facial recognition technology is likely used in the high-risk zones, and there's constant monitoring of suspicious activity, not just by people on the ground, but by specialist teams behind the scenes. There's a strong emphasis on real-time decision-making, supported by data, intelligence, and technology. Access control is another major factor. Not just anyone can walk into the Houses of Parliament. Everyone working there or visiting is vetted, passes are strictly enforced, and different zones of the building require different levels of clearance. Many of the doors are fitted with secure card access, and areas like the debating chambers or committee rooms have additional protections. There are also panic buttons, lockdown protocols, and evacuation routes built into the infrastructure. But it's not just about systems, it's also about people. Staff, police, and security officers are all highly trained to spot suspicious behaviour, respond to emergencies, and follow strict incident protocols. Regular drills are carried out to make sure everyone knows what to do if a threat becomes real. And that could be anything from a fire evacuation to a potential terror incident or cyber breach. And speaking of cyber threats, Parliament takes digital security equally seriously. With thousands of emails, documents and systems handling sensitive information, the risk of hacking or data breaches is very real. The Parliamentary Digital Service works alongside national agencies to monitor threats, patch vulnerabilities and respond to cyber incidents quickly. This is an area that's only growing in importance. Behind it all is a joined-up intelligence effort. Parliament doesn't just operate in isolation, it works closely with the Metropolitan Police, MI5 and other agencies to assess ongoing threats. That includes monitoring extremist activity, potential insider threats and international risks. What's clear is that security at Parliament isn't static, it constantly evolves. Every incident, every protest, every new risk changes the strategy. And for security professionals, that's one of the most important takeaways. Staying ahead of the threat means constantly adapting. Even for smaller businesses, the core principles still apply. Layer your defences, train your staff, plan for the worst, even if you hope it never happens. Now, here's the real challenge. How do you protect a place like Parliament without turning it into a fortress? It's not just a workplace for MPs, it's a symbol of democracy. People have the right to protest outside of it, for example. School groups go on tours, journalists report live from the Green. Shutting it all down for the sake of security just isn't an option. So, Parliament has to strike a careful balance. Security is tight, but it's designed to be as seamless as possible. Armed officers are visible, but respectful. Barriers are solid, but they don't dominate the landscape. Public access is allowed, but it's managed, monitored and supported by trained staff. In many ways, it's a model for how high-risk sites should be managed, not by locking everything down, but by using layers of control, intelligence and visibility to create safety without losing the spirit of the place. That balance is hard to get right, but at Parliament, it's essential. So, how secure are the Houses of Parliament? The short answer is very, but it's taken centuries of lessons, tragic incidents and evolving threats to get there. From hidden barrels of gunpowder to fast-moving terror attacks, every breach has forced a rethink and every response has made Parliament stronger. What we see today is a layered approach. Physical defences, armed presence, smart surveillance, digital security and strong coordination between police and intelligence services. But maybe the most impressive part is the balance. It's a place that still welcomes the public, still stands as a symbol of democracy, whilst quietly operating one of the most sophisticated security setups in the country. And for anyone managing security, whether it's a public building, an office block or a construction site, the principles are still the same. Plan in layers, stay adaptable and never assume it can't happen to you. Thanks for watching the video today. If you're into the real world side of security, crime and how high risk places stay protected, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like our video and hit the bell icon to get reminders when we publish new videos, which we'll have coming very soon. Take care.